Hey guys, so I am here to do my 1 month postpartum update for you guys. I am 1 month postpartum as of October 12th. So that's really exciting. I can't believe that Callie is a whole month old and I am a whole month past this whole being pregnant thing, and I am back to being a normal person, kind of. So basically I have a lot to talk to you guys about. Duh. I have all the notes, of course. What's new? I have a ton of notes. As of 1 month postpartum, my bleeding has completely stopped, which is awesome. I hate wearing those big old pads and walking around like I've got a, whole roll of toilet paper shoved in my pants. So I am really happy to announce that my bleeding is done. I think with a C-section, you might stop bleeding sooner than you do with a regular vaginal birth, but I don't know. I'm just gonna pretend that that's true so I can feel better about the fact that I had a C-section. I don't know. So thumbs up for no more bleeding. Yay. As far as my emotions, they are still a little bit weird. From time to time, I will be really overwhelmed still, which is obviously probably because I just had one kid, now I have two, and one of them is tiny and wants to hold on to me all the time and is basically living off me. But hey, sometimes it's a little overwhelming. Sometimes I'm like really bitchy all the time and I don't know why, and it just is like it is, I feel bad because like sometimes I'm really down and really sad and I don't really have a good reason. So my emotions are still kind of all over the place. Half the time I feel great. Half the time I feel like I've totally got this all under control and I'm like freaking super mom, y'all. But sometimes it doesn't go that well. I think overall I'm handling it pretty well. I think it's definitely going better than than my postpartum period after Cadence. I definitely think I suffered from some postpartum depression with her that I definitely went undiagnosed with, which is not a good idea. So I'm happy to feel a little bit better this time and to feel like I've kind of got a handle on things, even if sometimes I don't feel that good. That is very normal. I don't know if anybody in the world who feels 100% happy the whole time after they've had a baby. I mean, your emotions are crazy because of hormones and all that. So for the most part, I feel pretty good emotionally. Some days I'm kind of a bitch, but most of the time I'm pretty good. If you watch my 1 week postpartum video, which if you didn't, I will link it up here for you guys, but if you watch that, I mentioned that I was feeling very irritated a lot, and I think a lot of that had to do with the pain medicine that I was on. They had given me morphine in the hospital and they had given me Percocet to take home, and I had to take those to manage the pain from the surgery, but I do think that they made me very agitated. And once I stopped taking those and they kind of got out of my system, I feel like I got a lot better of a handle on things. So if you're just a little bit postpartum, or if you're having a C-section, just be aware that you might be really irritated from the pain medicine and that it probably will pass. I was very short with everyone and I was very bitchy, so I think that that has gotten better, even though some days I still have bitchy days, which we all do, let's be honest. Put your hand up if you have a bitchy day every once in a while. The whole pain medicine thing definitely didn't help the situation. So I'm happy to not be having to take those anymore and feeling a whole lot more in control of my agitation. I am not back to work yet. I am still on maternity leave. I probably will not go back to work for a couple more weeks. And at first I will probably only go back for a couple days a week. Probably won't go back full time for quite some time. Tim is working and I will be working here and there, so we should be fine. I don't want to go right back full time. I just don't think that that would work out with breastfeeding. We don't actually really have anybody to watch the kids all the time, so I will probably have to work on days that Tim's not working or work on nights at the restaurant when Tim is working during the day. So we'll have to figure that out, but I'm probably going to go back in a couple weeks, just like 1 or 2 days a week to start out with, just to kind of get used to it. I don't know, I'm kind of having some anxiety about going back to work, I'm not gonna lie. I do kind of miss working though. I miss feeling like I'm contributing a little bit. I kind of miss just my friends at work. I kind of miss seeing people at work. I kind of miss having more than one adult interaction a day. So I definitely miss working a little bit, and it's very strange because I was very over it at the end of my pregnancy. I really did not want to be there at all, but now I'm like, man, I kind of want to get back to feeling like myself. A part of myself is going to work. Before I stepped down from my management position, I worked all the time. So work actually defined me as a person for a very long time, and work was something that I took a lot of pride in and something that really made up a huge percentage of what I did all the time. So it's very strange to go from that to not working really at all, and then now it's very strange. It's like refinding out who I am and refinding out what I want to do all day with all my time when I'm not working. Part of me wants to go back, but then a part of me has anxiety. It's a very weird situation I got going on up in my head about work. I definitely will be going back at some point. And a lot of people ask me about that, but I definitely will be going back at some point. As far as breastfeeding, it's actually going awesome. I am so happy to be having a positive breastfeeding experience this time. I had so many struggles when Cadence was born that I am just thrilled to be having a good time with it this time. It doesn't hurt that often. Occasionally, if she's like doing the whole cluster feeding, it will hurt, but it doesn't really hurt that often anymore. She's kind of got it down. She's not a very long nurser, so she'll nurse for 10 to 20 minutes and then be good to go for a little while. So it's very much less overwhelming this time. Keep this in mind. If you had a hard time nursing your first baby, then you might have a much easier time nursing your second, because I feel like this time I'm just so much more relaxed about it, which makes it go a whole lot better. I'm not really overthinking it, and I'm just kind of, you know, just rolling with it. We're feeding on demand, and I'm just kind of, if she's upset or hungry or starting to act like she's hungry, I just stick my boob in her mouth and all is good. I feel like it must be overwhelming with your first child because you're so used to it just being you and you're not used to having someone attached to you all the time. But once you get used to that with your first kid, by the time you get to your second, it's not that overwhelming anymore, and you're pretty used to the idea of having a baby on you or around you or some small human being following you somewhere all the time. So it's really not that bad this time. I really don't mind it. At this point, I'm still only really planning on breastfeeding to a year-ish, but we'll see how it goes. As much as I'm having a positive experience this time, I really will be excited at the point when I don't have to wear bras with clips on them anymore, and I can pick out whatever shirt I want to wear that doesn't be all like loose and flowy so you can fit a baby in there. But as far right now, this is going really well. I have several ounces of milk pumped also. I've been pumping 2 times a day, once in the morning and once at night after she eats. I probably have about 200 ounces saved at this point, so I'm really excited about that. It'll make my transition back to work much easier, and it actually helps out a lot because it's easier for me to let someone watch her just for even like an hour or 2 hours, because I have the extra milk and I'm not really worried about my supply. So it's going really well. I'm really happy about it. So, you know, don't stress. I feel like people get a lot of crazy advice when they're breastfeeding, and I think the best thing you can do is just follow your instincts, because that's what I did this time, and I didn't overthink it, and it's going great. It sucked at first, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it hurts and sometimes it sucks, and the first couple weeks sucked giant whatever, but it sucked, okay? Like, so I'm not saying that just because I had a good time, it means that it doesn't hurt and it doesn't suck sometimes. It's going much better this time, and I think it's just because I'm more relaxed. Yay. I have been nursing in public without a cover pretty much most of the time. I did have this one really awesome situation happen to me while I was at Olive Garden a couple weeks ago, and I was still trying to nurse with the cover and still trying to be modest, and since we were just starting out and she was only a couple weeks old, she was really still having trouble latching and everything, and so I'm trying to get her latched, and I'm actually physically underneath the cover myself, and so I look like a weird ghost, and I'm sitting at my table at Olive Garden and she's under the cover, and we're just struggling, and you can tell we're struggling, and everyone's looking at us. So the lady next to us actually said, excuse me, and I was like, oh God, she's gonna yell at me. She's gonna yell at me for breastfeeding. Oh dear God, here we go. This is the first time I'm gonna have some kind of viral Facebook post after this. But no, actually she said, excuse me, I wanna tell you that if you don't wanna use the cover or you're having trouble with the cover, don't feel like you have to use it unless you want to. And I was like, what? Thanks. Like, I didn't really know what to say, but she was super sweet about it, and she was like, look, like, we're all fine with it, and we're sitting right next to you, and everyone here should be fine with it, and you are completely within your right if you don't want to use the cover and you're having trouble to not use the cover, and you'll be fine, and don't worry about it. And good for you for breastfeeding, and I'm really proud of you, and all this nice stuff. And she was so nice, and I was like, oh my God. Oh. It was just this really good feeling, because I feel like in the last 4 years or so since I nursed Cadence, a lot has changed in the world. People are always saying like they have these negative experiences when they're breastfeeding in public, but for me personally, I feel like with that experience, based on some of the experiences I had when Cadence was nursing and I was nursing her in public, I feel like maybe I just encountered one really nice lady, or maybe we're actually making progress. Since then, I felt pretty confident not really using the cover. I've kind of mastered the whole one shirt up and one shirt down sort of thing, and so you can't really see what's going on. And then occasionally I'll use a cover after she gets latched, but I mean, hey, it's a boob and it's here to feed babies, so if you don't like that, sorry about it. As far as my weight, which is the exciting part of this video, totally. So as far as my weight, I weigh 131 pounds on a good day. in the morning. So I weighed myself the other day in the morning and I weighed 131 pounds. Yay. I weigh myself at night, I weigh 133. Either way, somewhere between 131 and 133 pounds. It depends what time of day I weigh myself. My pre-pregnancy weight was 130, you know, sometimes it was less, sometimes it was more. It depends what I eat, depends how much food I eat that day. I'm at 131, which seems good to me. I am still not the same though, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not the same. Like before, during the summer I would wear these nice cute little shorts and they were all high-waisted and they were all like, you know, real short and cute, and I wore a lot of crop tops, and I'm not feeling like doing that now. Even though I weighed about the same amount, give or take a couple pounds, I'm just still very squishy from having the baby, and I still have that line, that weird line down your stomach, which I didn't even notice that I had when I was pregnant, but apparently I had it. I'm just not feeling as tight, I guess, or as squished in. So I have still been wearing my belly binder most days, and that has helped a lot. Keeps me all like sucked in and set up and stuff, which is nice. Basically, I'm feeling pretty good about it. At 1 month postpartum, I feel pretty decent about what I'm weighing and how I'm looking, and I'm going to insert a picture for you guys so you can see. I have several from the first week, and then I have my one from 1 month, as you can see. I'm just happy with how things are going, and I cannot wait to start working out. I'm not going to lie. I don't even really care to work out because I want to look a whole lot different or I want to lose a lot of weight. I just really find working out to be something that I enjoy and a thing that I do just for me, and a thing that makes me feel really good about myself. So I am really excited to start working out again. I think I've got a couple more weeks until my doctor will clear me to work out. That is pretty much it as far as my 1 month postpartum update. If you guys have any questions, post them down in the comment section below, and if I left anything out, let me know and I will include it in next month's video. But thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.